Welcome to my channel. Today I am here with a new topic, that is proning. So this is a simple exercise that can be done by patients who are suffering with acute respiratory distress syndrome to some extent. Okay, so if you have slight breathlessness, this can be a very good exercise. So we have seen in the second wave there is a lot of breathlessness cases seen in COVID patients, and when slight breathlessness is seen, when there is not much decrease in the PO2 levels in your blood, this can be a simple exercise that can be done and which will be useful. So let me give you a detail about this particular proning, which is very, very important for self-care. So coming to the table of contents, I will highlight a little bit about what are the different positions of sleeping and what are the proning positions which will be very useful, and how is the actual mechanism, like how will proning help you, and what are the different proning positions that we have, and what is all that you need, and who should avoid doing these exercises. Even though it's a simple exercise, there are certain people who are who should not do this kind of exercises. So some details about that, and other ways of improving your oxygen levels, and few takeaway messages. So coming to the second wave, as I told you, there are a lot of breathlessness cases seen in the second wave. Okay, so this slight breathlessness, when it happens itself, if you do these kind of simple exercises, it may help in increasing the oxygen levels in your blood. So this is the normal position in which most of us will sleep. So this is called as the supine position. So you can see here, it is in the front position, that is you're sleeping in this way. Okay, so this is creating some problems actually, because in this position what happens is your lung is compressed, okay, due to gravity and various other forces due to the internal organs inside. Okay, so due to internal forces, the position in such a way that the lung is compressed to some extent, due to which the ventilation perfusion mismatch is seen. Okay, so this can lead to problems, not in normal condition, but when already people are suffering from acute respiratory distress syndrome or slight breathlessness condition where their lung is not functioning properly, this little mismatch in ventilation perfusion can lead to problems. So this will indirectly decrease the oxygen levels in your blood. So let me tell you more detail about what is this perfusion ventilation mismatch or match. So in the normal condition, what happens is, this is a normal structure to show you how the lung alveoli is like. Okay, so inside the lung we have a grape-like, branch-like structures called as alveoli, which helps in the gas exchange. Okay, so and you can see it is surrounded by pulmonary capillaries. So these capillaries will allow the blood flow inside. So within these capillaries there will be blood flow, and there is a continuous exchange of gases happening between the alveoli and the pulmonary capillaries within which the blood is there. So the blood which is there inside the pulmonary capillaries will be deoxygenated, whereas the lung is the organ which takes the oxygen from the atmosphere, and through the alveoli the oxygen is exchanged between the alveoli and the pulmonary capillaries. So this is just to show you a picture of that. So this is the alveoli of the lung, and this is the pulmonary capillary. This is something similar to this and this. The red one is the pulmonary capillaries and the blue one is the alveoli of the lung. So you can see here the oxygen is getting exchanged. That means from the lung the oxygen is getting transported to the capillaries, that is to the blood which is present inside the capillaries, and the carbon dioxide which is there in this blood is getting transported to the lung. So this is the normal condition where there is proper exchange happening between oxygen and carbon dioxide. So if this condition is normal, this is called as ventilation perfusion match. Okay, but what happens when a person is suffering from acute respiratory distress syndrome or a slight breathlessness condition? So there is a mismatch in this exchange. So that is the most important thing that you have to understand. So alveoli will be not capable of transferring this oxygen to a greater extent, because the lung is not capable of taking in oxygen to a greater level because of the infection that has happened in the lung. So because of which there is carbon dioxide that is coming, but there is no oxygen which is getting transported here, because of which there is a mismatch seen, and this mismatch can lead to impaired or hampered gas exchange, which leads to problems. So coming to proning, it is a medically approved position. It is already promoted by Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. This will indirectly help you in increasing your oxygen level. So let me tell you in detail how it works. But before that, let me give you little details of this. So basically a PO2 level in your blood, if it is above 94, 95, 96, up till 100, it is said to be a healthy condition. but there will be condition where breathlessness is seen in patients, and that time this PO2 levels will start decreasing. Okay, so there is a case of a patient which is a 82-year patient from Gorakhpur. Her oxygen levels improved from 75 to 94 once she did this proning exercise. So this may not happen in one set of exercise. You may have to do it like 2-3 times a day, and you may have to do it continuously for like 4-5 days, 6 days, 7 days, and then your improvement may start to show. So it is not like your medicines where one dose may help you in increasing your efficacy, but this will take time because it is an exercise that you have to do. So you have to do it continuously, you have to monitor it properly and see if your oxygen levels are improving. So basically this is to show you how it works, the working mechanism. This is the lung structure, and you can see these are the alveoli. Okay, the alveoli will be here, and this is the pleural cavity. Okay, you need not study too much details here. I'll just tell you why this is important for us. So this I've already explained how it works. So what happens is your oxygen from the lung moves to the pulmonary capillaries where your RBCs are present. So within this you have your blood, and in blood we know we have red blood cells, that is the RBC, and in the RBCs we have hemoglobin, we know that. So hemoglobin is the one which helps actually. Okay, so it will take the oxygen, and it will, once it takes the oxygen, it is oxygenated. Okay, and this, as it moves to different tissues, it will release that oxygen to the tissues. So in this way your blood will have oxygen, and that is how you measure your PO2 levels in the blood. Okay, so you might have heard about pulse oximeters used for measuring PO2 levels. So this is indirectly measuring the levels of PO2 in your blood. Okay, so if this is not seen properly, so if there is no absorption and release of this gas, then it is leading to issues. So what happens is when the alveolar pressure, so this is the pressure inside the lungs. Okay, so when your alveolar pressure is greater than the pleural pressure. So pleural pressure is the cavity outside the lung. So you can see this is your rib cage, and the pleura is the cavity between the lung and the rib cage. Okay, so when you're inside the pressure is more, definitely your lung is ventilated properly. That tells you that there is proper oxygen in the lungs. But if the pleural pressure becomes greater than the alveolar pressure, that means this area is more and this area is less. That means the pressure here is less. So that is the condition which tells you that your lung is poorly ventilated. Okay, so this exercises will indirectly help you in getting this condition. That is, you're increasing the alveolar pressure in comparison with the pleural pressure, which helps in the better ventilation of the lungs. And once we know that there is good ventilation, the mismatch can be reduced to a greater extent. So that is how this actually works. So let me show you the proning positions. So there are different positions which are recommended. So this is the first position, that is on your belly, you sleep on your belly, and then you have the right lateral position. So you sleep at your side, one side, and then you can sit in this position, that is 60 to 90 degree angle, somewhere in between you have to sit so that there is a proper gas exchange that is happening, and again you can sleep to your left. So this can be done, like each positions can be done for something like half an hour, and you can do this maximum for 2-3 hours, 2 hours, okay, and you can do it for 2 times a day or something. Okay, so this will help you in indirectly increasing your oxygen levels, because in this position it is already recommended that the transfer or the movement of blood flow becomes easier. Okay, so definitely if your blood is moving easy in your body, definitely the rate at which the oxygen transport happens also becomes better. So that is the basic idea here. And what is all that you need for this is simply some pillows. Okay, so just 4-5 pillows will be sufficient. So 1 below the neck, 1 or 2 below the chest, and 2 below the shins. Shin is nothing but the area near your leg. Okay, this is the area which is called as the shin. So just using few pillows, you can lie in those positions, and that will help in the movement of gases in the blood. So who should avoid it? As I told you, pregnant women should not do this. It is not at all recommended for pregnant women, and the patients who are suffering with deep venous thrombosis, even they cannot do this, and patients with cardiac problems, and if you have some kind of pelvic fractures and your spine is not stable, then definitely you should not do all these exercises. Okay, so please take care about that. If you have any of these complications, please do not do this kind of exercises. And let me tell you some other ways by which you can also improve your oxygen levels. So deep breathing exercises also will help to some extent. yogic exercises also will help, and you should always try to stay hydrated, and eating iron rich food might be helpful, and light exercise, as I told you, that is proning, will be very, very helpful. So coming to a few takeaway messages. So we have seen how a simple exercise using few pillows can help you in improving the ventilation perfusion mismatch. So this is the most important thing, because this mismatch is leading to issues. So if you can tackle this mismatch, definitely we can have good oxygen levels in your blood, and that will reduce your complications. Okay, so it is very easy to follow, and it is already followed in US and other places. And here also now people are getting aware about these exercises and they are following it. So you can do it easily at home when you're, if you are suffering from COVID and you're in home isolation and you have slight breathlessness, you can do these simple exercises. And even in hospitalization, you can do it. And we should keep in mind that not every COVID patients might require artificial oxygenation systems, because when you have slight breathlessness, these simple exercises can help you to a greater extent. So you can check even with your oxygen levels. So your PO2 levels, as we know, we can check using pulse oximeters. So before doing these exercises, you can see your levels, and after you do these exercises for 2-3 days, you can again check your levels and see if it is improving. So definitely if it is improving, that means your exercises have helped you in a way to improve your oxygen levels. So that is it for today. So these are the references that I used. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe the channel for more updates.